Terry Steiner and Izzy Zbornikoff. I'm going to have them available also. The format for this press conference, I'll ask a couple questions to each of the people involved, and then they'll answer it, and then we'll open up for questions for them. We'll go all the way down the line, starting with the coaches, and then we'll go in weight class order among our women. And then when we're done at the end of that, we'll have the ability for one-on-ones. So feel free to ask questions now, but if you want to wait, we're going to finish up with one-on-one individual opportunities if you'd like. We're going to start here with Coach Terry Steiner, our national coach. Coach Steiner, what are your goals and expectations for this team here in London?
Well, I think our goals are very simple. I mean, we came here with 4 athletes, and we'd like to leave here with 4 medals. I think we have the athletes that can perform and have performed at a high level at the World Championships. We have two former Olympians that have been in this on this stage before, and were both in bronze medal matches in 2008. So I think we're very capable of performing at a very high level here in London.
And Coach Steiner, you've been coaching the U.S. national team since 2002. This is your 3rd Olympic Games, leading our group. Could you talk about the improvement in women's wrestling since you got involved, and just what the USA does to continue to get better along with the tough competition?
Well, really the whole landscape has changed since 2002. In 2002, we basically had a resident program of 20 athletes, and that was our only focus for 2 years, was those 20 athletes. And since that time, we started a development program. At that time, in 2002, we had 5 college programs in the U.S. Now we have 21 college programs. It's the fastest growing sport at the high school level in the high school associations and women's wrestling. So I think we went from, and I think in the States we went from 2 states that had wrestling as a sanctioned high school sport to 6. So it's growing fast, never fast enough, I don't think, from my eyes, but I think that it is growing, and the attitude towards women's wrestling is a lot more open and changing, more positive, because really I think when I started it was a sport within a sport that wasn't generally accepted, even within its own sport. So I think that's changing, and I think because of that we've gained some growth, but we still have a long ways to go to get to where we need to be.
Any questions at this point for Coach Steiner? Rachel? Okay.
Hi, Rachel Blount from the Minneapolis Star-Tribune. Terry, a lot has been made about the fact that there are more women than men on the U.S. Olympic team this year for the first time. What are your thoughts on that, and how can the growth in participation and profile of women's Olympic sports help the younger Olympic sports like women's wrestling?
Well, I think we can thank Title IX for having more women Olympians at this point in time than men. Title IX definitely pushed for equality in sports, and it's coming to that. I think women is just one of those sports that for so long women weren't even looked at as being a part of the sport or even thought about. And I think that's changing in the sport of women's wrestling. It's changing. It's giving opportunity for athletes at a younger level, and it's growing through the high school and the college systems. I mean, that's going to continue, and really I think it can continue. I mean, wrestling can be used as an example, I guess, like women's hockey. It's growing and growing and growing, and sport is a great teacher of life skills, and so I think whether you're involved in any sport, I think that sport is, I think in the past has been seen as a male thing, but I think that everyone's starting to realize that sport is great for everyone, and it can be taught to everyone, and through that, we can create stronger people, better citizens, better parts of society through sport. So hopefully that is seen around the world.
Any other questions for Coach Steiner? Okay, to his right is Coach Izzy Zbojnikov. He's our assistant national coach, and I've got a couple questions for him. Coach, how's our training going for the team this summer, and how does the team look in your mind heading into the Olympics?
I think we had a pretty good few sessions in the summer of our final preparation. You can always wish more from the training sessions, and I think overall we accomplished the task we set ourselves to do throughout those last few months of preparation. We don't have any major health concerns with the athletes, so that's a good thing always. So now we're just looking to get a final tune-up, get the competitive juices going, and get them ready. Let the competition show what we have.
Now, Coach, the team's going to be here a couple of days, and then they're going to head off to France for one more training cycle. What kind of goals and what are the focus of that camp that the women will be working on prior to coming back and going to compete?
Well, at this point in the game, really we just want to rest up, get them excited about upcoming competition, maybe start thinking about some strategies against particular opponents, and really just keep reassuring them that we're capable of, the Coach Steiner mentioned, winning 4 medals. And I think the coaching staff believes in that. I think athletes believe in that, and we just need to ensure that through our training, through our conversations, through our thoughts, mindsets, and be ready to compete for that.
Do we have any other questions for Coach? I do have a point. We're trying to organize, if someone's interested, a trip out to France for a media day with the team. If there's an interest, let me know. We've identified 2 possible days, Monday and Tuesday next week. We take a train, spend the day for a couple of training sessions, spend some time with the athletes, and then we'd probably come straight back to London. So the word's out there. If we have media that has an interest, just get a hold of me, come see me or email me. It's interesting because you can take a train over to France, and that's how the girls are going to get there. And again, I'll take some media there if there's an interest. So with that said, let's start talking with our athletes. And we're going to go in weight order. At the far left end, at 48 kilo, a native of Hawaii. She attended Missouri Valley College and now trains in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Clarissa Chun. This is, Clarissa, your second Olympic Games, and I'd like to ask what you learned in Beijing that you're going to put to use here to help you do even better here in London.
I always feel like I can always learn from each tournament that I compete in. So I feel like it's no real different in that aspect, but I just feed off of the energy when I wrestle in Beijing and just want to go out there and wrestle my best, and I guess have no regrets when I step off that mat.
Now back in 2008, Clarissa, you won a world title and you beat everyone in front of you, and you walked out with a gold medal. We've only had 5 women do that. What kind of wrestling will you have to do here in London to get another gold medal, but this time at the Olympics?
Fight for every point, be in that match like from beginning to the end, and I guess for me just using what I'm good at, whether it's my speed or technique or whatnot, and just wrestling my game, wrestling my style, and bringing me to them. So.
Any questions for Clarissa? Thank you, Clarissa. To her right is our 55 kilogram wrestler. She's from Milwaukee, Oregon, a graduate of Arizona State University, and she's now at the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs, Kelsey Campbell. Kelsey, could you tell us a little bit about how you got into the sport on a dare and why you stayed with it after you actually went out and gave it a try?
Yeah, it was a little uncommon from, I think, most female wrestlers. I had some friends on the team in high school, and being an athlete, I thought I could handle it, and some of my guy friends didn't, and so there was a bet that was made, you couldn't last more than 2 weeks, and I was like, I totally could, and so I went out for the team, just trying to prove some guys wrong, and I squeaked through the season. I think I won like 2 matches, and then at the end of the season, my high school coach, who in the beginning didn't really even want me in the room, he was the one who actually told me about a girls' state tournament, and I was scared. I was like, I'm gonna wrestle girls. I'm probably gonna lose and never wrestle again, and that'll be that. But I went to the tournament and I pinned my way to the finals, and that was kind of when I realized I still wasn't really that good. But that was when I realized I have some potential in this sport. I could do this. This could be my sport. And so, but again, it took a long time to turn that corner. I just loved it. I mean, wrestling is just like, it's a personal sport, and there's a lot of family aspect to it. And I just think once you're a wrestler, you're always a wrestler. And I think that's what kept me in it. It wasn't because I was really good. It wasn't because I had a ton of talent. I just really loved the sport, and I loved the people that it had connected me with, and I just did it just because of that. And I just got better over the years. So I mean, that's how I started doing it, but sticking with it was more just a pure love for it.
And my follow-up question has to do with talking about the sacrifice to get down to 55 kilograms and why it worked out for you that you're here in London at the Olympic Games.
Well, I think a few years ago when I committed to wrestling full-time at the training center in Colorado, I think that I had the option. I probably could have gone up or down. I normally wrestle at a non-Olympic weight. It's 4 kilos heavier than the Olympic weight at 55. And I decided to go down. And so, as time drew near and I had to start competing down, I mean, it was really a lifestyle change. 4 kilos is 4 kilos. So, it's not something you can just wait till the last minute. And a lot of times competitions can come down to that weight cut. And so, and for me it has, both good and bad. And so, going into the Olympic year, I had to really change some habits, some dieting habits, just a lot of lifestyle changes. Just everything I put in my body, I had to watch. I had to get a lot of input from nutritionists and from my coaches and even my teammates. And I really just had to become a student. Wrestling became more than just wrestling. And, going into the Olympic trials, I think there's a lot of different things that I had to consider. And I didn't want my Olympic trials to come down to a bad weight cut. I wanted that to be the one thing that I had control over, and I did it right. And so, I just followed the plan that was given to me. And, but, it was something that started much, much further in advance. And it affected everything, how you feel, how you sleep. And so, but it's been a sacrifice, but when you think of the goal at hand, it's really not. It's just part of the process.
Very good. Any questions at this point for Kelsey? Thanks, Kelsey. To her right is our 63-kilogram Olympian. She was born in Russia, raised in Greenfield, Massachusetts, and now trains full-time at the Olympic Training Center, Elena Pereshkova. Elena, could you tell us about the experience when you went to Russia in Moscow, won a world silver medal in the country of your birth, and what that experience meant to you?
Well, I think first of all, winning a medal, I think meant a lot to me because it was my 3rd time competing at Worlds. So I think if I went home empty-handed that time, I think, I don't know, probably would have lost a lot of confidence there, So I think, yeah, so finally just medaling overall, I think it was really great. I think it was just really unique to medal, I guess, in the country that I was born. Clarissa won the Worlds in Japan, and yeah, well, she's half Japanese. So we were joking about it when on the way over. We're like, maybe, so you're, sorry. So we're just saying, like, it'd be really cool if I medaled, and I ended up doing it. Then it was just, I don't know, I guess it was just really good just to kind of be in Russia, just kind of see where my family comes from, the culture that I was born, where my parents were from, and just kind of I was raised in. And to medal, I think it was just a lot of just good experiences overall.
Now this summer, one of your training partners during one of the training camps was the 2-time Olympic champ, Kaori Icho from Japan. And I was curious how that experience helped you prepare to come here to win and obviously possibly have to beat her to be the champion.
Yeah, when my coach said that she was going to come, I was pretty surprised. I was kind of thinking, I was like, okay, out of all the countries that she can go train, she can be training in her own country, she could be training with so many other people, but she could come to the United States. So I told myself, in my head, I was like, all right, she's scared of me. She's come here to like kind of train me, check me out maybe. But it was a really good opportunity for me because every single day I treated it like a competition. Every single day I showed up, I was like, I have to be on top of my game. Doesn't matter if I'm tired. Didn't really matter what's going on. Like I can't let it show that I'm weak. Every time we're doing treadmill sprints, I'm like, I'm gonna beat her on everything. I'm like, can't really quite beat her on the mat yet. Like every single time we go, but like I'm inching closer, and I think it was just a really good confidence booster just to have her train with us.
Thank you, Elena. Any questions for Elena? Our last athlete who's in her second Olympic Games is at 72 kilograms. She's from New Ulm, Minnesota. Was a student at the University of Regina and the University of Alberta. Allie Bernard. Allie, last year you won a bronze medal at the World Championships. You pinned the Olympic champion, beat a bunch of other top wrestlers. Could you talk about how that performance gives you confidence coming into the London Olympics?
I guess it's just a great experience. I've had a lot of success at the junior level, at the university level, but I never really broke through at the senior level. And that was kind of the breaking point. I realized I can do this, and I know now I'm a top contender. So it really just gave me the confidence I need coming to these games, I feel.
And could you talk a little about your decision after Beijing to try out and continue to wrestle, go for another Olympics, and then, how it feels to be back at the Olympic Games again for you?
Yeah, after Beijing, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I usually don't. So, but I knew I needed to finish school, and school without wrestling was pretty boring. So, got back on the mat, and it's hard to quit something that you love so much. So, I decided I'm gonna go another 4 years, and now that I'm here in London, it's a gift. It's a second chance, and I'm not gonna let this slip through my fingers this time. So I'm really excited to be here, and I'm proud.
Outstanding. Any question for Allie? Luke?
Allie, how difficult was it after losing in Iowa City to maintain the focus you needed to be able to compete here without really knowing if you end up being here?
Yeah, after a loss, it's pretty down. It's like, oh man, get off the couch, Allie, let's go work out. But but then I guess it kind of feeds the fire. I guess now it's like I lost. That's out of the way. Got nothing to lose now. The losing part's over. So I guess it's just fueled my fire.